Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you more of the meta. So I actually want to kind of show you a recent defensive coverage I've been using online. It's a cover 9 defense, and basically it's kind of a variation of it. I would consider it more of a cover 7 variation of it, just because I'm putting a deep third and a seam flap in the slot position, and then I have cover 4 on the back side of it. I'm going to show you how we run this defense. This is going to be using the penny defense out of the Panthers playbook. I'm going against a pretty good opponent. This guy, it was ranked, one of the cool things about the game right now is that when you start jumping into a new season, you can see the type of player that you're running against. This guy's ranked 10. So, he's got a lot of games underneath his belt. He's going to have to play a lot of games to basically get to that rank. And you can see in the gameplay that this guy's pretty good. Now, typically what I like to do in a game, I like to come out of cover 6 and get a feel for what my opponent likes to do. He's going into gun tray Y flex, so that means I'm going to have trip side off on the left side unless this guy's flipping his plays, and sure enough he is. So I think I'm in cover 9 or cover 6 right here, and I go into basically cover 6, and I've got to go ahead and carry deep with these guys. And actually got a little mesh concept. He's got a crosser over the middle field that actually is able to go ahead and hit right there with that play. So now he jumps into basically a deuce close situation, and this, when I ever see this, I always go ahead and try to put my guys into flats for the most part, man up these outside guys, and then kind of use over the middle. But this guy actually had like kind of a motion play, a lot of these stock motion plays, and I didn't pass commit. In this type of situation, you're going to see my defenders actually get themselves out of position, and actually throws a flat really fast. I had a hard flat out there, but because it was an auto motion RPO, my guys got out of position. He actually took the flat. So it's an indicator of a good player. Anytime that they actually go ahead and just take the yardage that you offer, and they steal yardage, it means this is a good player. So this guy was willing to check down the flats and underneath, meaning that's just going to be a harder player to go against. So right here I made up the outside receiver, and actually go ahead and I've got to play that run fit, and I come up a little bit short on that. He goes with a nice inside zone. So he's been settling for run plays and stuff like this, and this is a pretty good offense that he's running right now. He's just taking his plays, quick snapping. I go with the contain right here and actually checks it down. I carry it a little bit, try to get back. I'm just out of position, but this guy's just taking what I'm giving him. And even though I try to react to it, I got to it a little bit late. He's seeing the field clearly. He's making good decisions. Just good, good decisions, good play by him. So right here, go ahead and shift my line off. It goes with an inside zone, cuts it back. Look at the hole right there. That was actually, I had a kind of a double gap I had to kind of fill right there, and it actually puts me in a bad situation. Now I decide to go with hard flats in a cover 2 look, and he basically checks it down. And here's a huge play right here. I knock the ball out in that type of situation, get him into 3rd and 2. And I'm going to go ahead in this because I have been showing him basically baseline zone slash coverage, and also running a lot of match coverage. I'm going to hit this guy with a cover 1 hole and see how he responds to man pressure. I don't like doing man pressure on a regular basis against my opponents because I don't want them to get used to it. Always inside shade. If he wants to go and hit me on the outside, he can get that, but I'm never going to go ahead and give him anything inside, because most players, when they see these heavy blitzes, they always try to throw at the inside receiver. My responsibility is to get to the outside. You can see I'm actually kind of trying to take away some of his reads, and he actually has a read right there, but he just can't get it off. So because if he runs all those players out, he runs out 5, someone's going to get in. So right here, I think I jump into a cover 3 hard flats play out of the 4-4, bunch everybody up. I should be pushing my guys down. He does like kind of off tackle type run, and I get luckily a tackle right before he gets past the first down marker, and as a result, I get a stop. So on the next series, I take a shot. I took a cover 2 beater shot. It was cover 6, and his defender actually came over, played that route perfectly, puts me behind the 8 ball. He's got 2 minutes and 14 seconds left, and I got to prevent this guy from scoring. So this is a defensive battle in the first half, which is usually pretty rare to see when you play Madden. Right here, I'm playing cover 9. in this type of situation, and I actually does a little bubble play. I've got a defender out there. Nice little juke by Worthy to pick up some yards. That probably should have been like a 2nd and 8 type of situation. Right here I jump into this variation of cover 9. So it's really kind of a cover 7. I'm putting this guy into a deep third, and I'm actually putting this guy into a seam flat, and I have to play over the middle of the field. So I've got a box on this side for the trip side, but on this side I've got basically cover 3. So for the most part, if he actually tries to do a corner route to the outside, that's going to be bottled up, and a kind of a route underneath. And my responsibility really is to try to defend the middle of the field. I've got a lot of matching principles on the backside, so I do like this defense, and I'm going to be experimenting with this against trips. One other thing too, I go ahead and take this guy and put this guy out into a flat position right here, just to really overwhelm that short side of the field. And really that's a kind of a good situation for me, because he was really throwing everybody over there. And look what he does. He's got like a little stick route right here, and I've got 2 defenders. He just checks it down and takes the yards. This is a mark of a good player that hasn't really went into the tank in sense where he knows what he wants to do. So he's got quads off to the right side, so once again we'll run the same defense. I probably could have put this guy, matched this guy up, and just slid this guy's over and put a hard flat out there, and just play this guy to look for anything coming over the middle of the field. Maybe not necessarily the best adjustment right here, but he does have like kind of a motion play where the guy actually takes off, and he's just settling it down right there, and actually picks up 7 yards. So he's making really good decisions with all these auto motions right now. I don't see him really making any kind of bad decisions. Setting this defense up once again. I put another 3-rec hook out here. Maybe not the best decision. Probably would have want to put a deep third in this type of situation. Maybe a vert hook out here. And let's see what he does with this. I'm playing down in the box. He does a whip, looks to the whip. Look at that, just really good decision. So if I would have had a hard flat out there, that probably would have picked that whip up a little bit better. Or maybe a seam flat probably would have picked up that whip. So if I had a seam flat out there, that probably would have helped take that. So he's using a lot of quad sets. You can see he's doing 4 wide receivers. He's got a single guy over here. And this is where I think what I did is I actually go ahead and put a seam flat out here, and I'm going to put this guy into a deep third, and I had a hook zone out here. So let's see if we get this adjustment in. It's one of those situations where it's really hard to make that adjustment. Right here, he actually comes over the middle, and he goes into the middle of the field. I've got a defender out there, and luckily for me, I'm able to go and pop that as he actually tries to throw over the middle. And what's the challenge of throwing over the middle is that a lot of times it's hard to make those throws just because there's so many defenders in the middle of the field. So right here actually goes back. I see this route sticking right here. This is one of that previous play in the series that he does. So I'm actually trying to come over here, but I do have matching principles over the top, and he's got over the top leverage. This is just a misthrown. This is a good read by him. Misthrown ball, and I'm able to go ahead and get an interception on that. That was a good throw. It was a good decision, good throw. That should have been a touchdown, but I'm able to go ahead and get a break against this guy. So keeping him guessing on this whole, this scheme. Right now the score is 0-0. I actually still a very, very tight defense of score against her, and I think this is a series in where he actually goes ahead and gets a touchdown against me. So I've got a hard flat out here to really overwhelm this box side over here, and then I've got myself a seam flat, a deep third, and I'm actually playing in the box, and really what I'm looking for is any kind of like routes coming over the middle or crossing from the backside. But I've got matching principles off the right side. He actually does one of these auto motion plays. I shift my line anticipating kind of a run, and you can see right here I send my guys after him, and because I don't have this guy out in the flat, he's able to go ahead and make a good read. This is a good decision by him. He sees my guys going, he checks it down to the running back, and he picks up a couple yards off that. So this is just a good decision right there. But because I had a flat out there, I actually can do that. So let's take a look at the trips play using this cover 9 coverage. Right here I got to go deep and carry with that crossing route, but you can see that this guy bites onto that crossing route for me and protects past this route. So what's cool about this is that if you trade this off, it's going to do that. Fuller should have picked this off. That should have been an interception right there. So that was the first really bad throw that he made pretty much the entire game in that type of situation. Now I go ahead and jump into cover 3 just to kind of show things, change things up. And the reason why he's got kind of a tight set And I'm going to use hard flats because I'm anticipating what he's going to do is use some type of a mesh concept. So I'm expecting something like that is basically mesh, but he doesn't. He actually runs tight end corner. So he's running a route like this. He's got a corner route, a corner route. He's got an outs, and I think he's got an angle route with the running back. And I have to play that running back route, but I get myself out of position for that tight end route, and he actually pops it. So just really good decision making and get me out of position right there. And he would have had that running back route if I did not didn't play the running back route. So it was, you know, pick your poison based on the defensive setup. So it's really good against cover 3. So right here, I go back into cover 9. Put this guy on the flat. I'm playing this guy. I've got this guy into seam flat. I got him into a third. And my responsibility is to try to look for anything that's just going to come over the middle of the field and look for anything underneath. So he goes with this little auto motion. Once again, same type of situation. This guy's out here. If I switch stick down to if I clicked onto that guy, I might have got an interception. It's just not something I really do. Not a part of my motor skills is to do switch stick. That's not an aspect of defense, which I know I should be using. It's not an aspect of defense that I really use in my game. And I do get stops with my old school defensive strategies. You know, obviously to play at an elite level, you got to have master pretty much all the functionality of the game. But I can still beat people, you know, with some of the basic stuff. So back at it again, same defense. He's using this deuce close. The only difference now is I'm going to pass commit. To try to get my guys out into the flats right away with this, because he's already shown this to me once, and a lot of players like to use the same plays over and over again. And let's see how this guy shoots out right away. He shoots out. So that pass commit really did take away his fast reads. And right here, this route is actually coming over. I chase it, leaving this guy wide open, and he waits for me to get out of position, and then throws the ball right there to his tight end. He gets the ball down to the 1 yard line. So now I'm kind of in a bind. He's down to the 1 yard line. He's still using these open sets, and I'm just going to go ahead and blitz everybody. I was supposed to put this guy into a cloud flat, and I think this is why this defense broke down on me. I don't have it set up. See how this guy's bailing out? That means that outside guy is out there, and as a result, he's able to check it down in the flat, and I just didn't make the fast enough adjustment. So that's all on me. I should have made that adjustment and put that in there. But look at what he does. He misses his field goal. So now that puts me in the driver's seat because I can go up by a score, and sure enough, on the next series, a score touchdown and go up by 1 point. And put him in a situation where he's going to have to effectively move the ball down the field, and he's going to have to score, get 3 points or whatever to get back to take the lead of the game. So right here, he actually goes ahead and jumps in. He actually drops it down. That could have been an interception right there. That was one of the few reads. He was doing a lot of route concepts to the short side of the field, so I don't know why you do that. Most players use the wide side of the field because it really stretches the defense horizontally and vertically because of being the short side, but this guy was not. I don't know if he really knew his hashes that well. So right here, running cover 6 again. I think I might have spied up one of my defensive linemen. I did, because this guy liked to run out. You can see my defensive lineman's out there, and I passed my defensive lineman down. And now he goes to go ahead and lobs the ball up. This is just another bad throw by him. That could have been an interception. So this is like he's tanking, and he's not making good decisions here in the second half. He wasn't making really good decisions. So it is a 3rd and 10 situation. I really haven't shown this guy any kind of aggressive pressure, so I go ahead and put pressure, and he does block his running back, and he takes a shot up top, and my slot defender is coming up big for me, able to go ahead and get an interception on the match principles, and I'm actually got myself into field goal range against him too. So that takes away a field goal option to him. I end up getting the ball into the end zone, and I went for 2 to go up by 9 points. It was really a killer decision to go for 2 against this guy, because I didn't want to have him. I wanted to put him in a situation where he had to get 2 possessions against me inside a 2-minute warning. So right here, I jump back into this cover 7, cover 9 version. I got a deep third. I got a seam flat, and I think what I did is I shifted my line over. But I don't put QB contains in. I do have QB contains in. He's got a motion route right here, which is kind of a C route. He's got a flat. Flat is open. but he pushes the ball up to the next level into the C route, and I actually kind of have to defend that streak. And he was just really that C flat concept really just destroyed that coverage right there. So now I jump into, I think what I did is I jumped into cover 4, and I put a flat out there, and he actually takes off this quarterback. And this is one of the deadly things about anybody that actually runs with this quarterback. It's just one of those hard things to stop. So I've got to go ahead and put a QB contain against this guy to stop it. So right here I go into basically just a basic cover 4 quarters. I got QB contains. He jumps into a screenplay, which he really hasn't shown me that entire game. Pretty good call right there, but I'm able to go ahead and bottle it up and contain him just for a 2-yard gainer, even though he had positioning and extra blockers out there. So right here I jump into a cover 3 coverage because I want to basically have these guys out here to match everything for me. And I'm just going to use her over the middle of the field, look for any kind of crossing route. You can see how this route actually released. I've got to carry with that route. These guys are basically bottled up, and I got an edge defender off the edge and a QB contain. He's got nowhere to go with it, and I'm able to go ahead and get him into a 3rd and 8 situation. So now he goes into empty trip spread, and this is a defense I really love to use against empty trips because it gives you a good base align with your line. So I'd like to go into man alignments. And I'm going to do 43, which 61, and it's going to be this play, which is going to be Samuel blitz. Look what happens when you come out of the huddle. All your defenders are automatically lined up on everybody, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to use her down on the line. I just need to engage this guy right here, and what happens is this guy's going to come around and make a fast read. I shade my guys in when I play defense, and the reason why is I want to make sure I take away any kind of those crossing routes right there. So you can see the pressure comes in off the edge with McCombs and actually get him to 4th and 17. He no huddles. I'm going to just stay with the same defense once again. This is probably a good situation to jump into a different defense, but you can see the pressure comes in. I've got these guys shaded on the inside. I'm trying to pull myself out of position right there and able to go ahead and knock that ball out. And that's pretty much toast of the game. The game's over with after that. I actually get myself up a victory. So once again, guys, thanks for your support. If you guys want to see how I run my offenses, you can take a look at my Patreon. I basically post my Minnesota offense. I've got probably about 7 or 8 different formations to use that I try to get access to. So if you want to see that, go ahead and take a look at it. And once again, thanks for your support. Until next time.